YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet, and this is the Highland Scotties Sports Talk here. This is episode 25, and we're going to do a talk about the recruitments coming up here that we're trying to go after here, and this for the upcoming season. As take a look there, yeah, it's our bye week, and we just got done calling the bus there on the Aggies there in a great win. And Kason had a great day there, over 250 yards there, and had 3 touchdowns in the game. One of them being a receiving touchdown. So a great week there for us, and we're hoping that they will continue here after this bye week, as we need all these big convincing games, regardless who we're playing. We got 2 big games coming up here in weeks 7 and 8 that are going to be very important for us, and especially when it comes to recruiting. We got to try to get some recruits here. So far, we have one already on our board that does not want to talk to us. He's already signed with Mississippi State. We'll talk about that here a little later. But take a look there. We got some pretty good convincing wins there. The only one that was, we had a pretty rough start, a rough go, was the first game there against Tennessee. But since then, we've pretty much we've pretty much been dominant in a lot of areas in our game, and still, of course, we got a lot of room to improve in our game. We're not saying we're the top best team in the nation, because we are only number 4 in the nation, but we got to get some really good wins here. And I know our schedule's not that strong and whatnot, but we got 2 big games coming up here that you see in weeks 7 and 8, like I mentioned, at Wisconsin and at LSU. So those are going to be very big, convincing games to show the world, or at least show the football, the college world, what we can do, and try to convince some of these young men to play for us next season, especially if we can run the table once again like last year, and we can get a pretty good recruiting class coming in. So that is going to be very important here in the next couple of weeks now, playing against these other teams. So take a look here. Right now we're ranked number 4 in the nation right now, and there you see USC here. This is before week 5. So if you've already seen the episode from the Scotties Dynasty, you've already know that USC has dropped. But this is just from beforehand, kind of setting up here what some other schools have done here before week 5 and then after week 5. So you'll see some pretty big some pretty good drops, or I guess I wouldn't say it would be good drops for them, but for us, at least puts us in a better position here, because right now we're still at number 4. But it's going to come down now, to win games here. That's going to really based on what the recruiting is going to be like. And we've been hitting the pavement hard. All 3 coaches, Coach Teddy Bonds, Coach Sahib, and Coach Lawrence, have been really going after these young men here and trying to talk to them week after week about going to a program that, we're not well known. We're I think we're we're just a 2-star institution, but we're starting to climb here, and we're starting making things happen, especially with a high-profile coach like Coach Teddy Bonds. Who he's coaches at many places, at Nebraska and so many other schools. He's want to take this challenge here to see what he can do with a 2-star, or actually, when we started this series, a 1-star team, and see what he can do and try to turn things around for him. So we'll see if that, with his notoriety and of course his gameplay and the game style he has, we'll see if that will help out here with the recruiting. So take a look at the week 5 there, and you see we got some some teams here that have made some changes in there, where they're setting up right now on the top 25 board. But yeah, like I said, wins and losses are going to really matter here, and especially how we play against teams. If we can take out teams that we're supposed to be dominant over, we got some pretty, like the first 3 teams, well, actually really the next 4 teams were pretty tough, because they can change things real quick, especially they're with a situation like last year. We were unexpected. We were predicted to only win about 5 or 6 games last season, but we ended up running the table and only losing the very last game of the season. So things can change very quickly, and we got to be on our P's and Q's here for the next couple of weeks. So first game we have against is coming back after the bye week is going to be UMass, and UMass is, well, we already talked about in the previous episode. They're going to be a team that's going to be looking for a victory here. Last season we beat them in a final score of 45-7. So and then here in the last 2 weeks here, they've only lost games here by field goal or less. So they are a team that is not going to be no joke at all, and they're going to be wanting to take us out as quickly as possible and really try to get some convincing wins for themselves, to give themselves in position here for possibly a bowl potential. So that's, of course, that's what we're trying to do, and try and get a good bowl here. And if we can get a decent bowl for next season, that will really help us out here quite a bit. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a look here. I believe it's going to be the top 25 poll, I think, for after this, going into the after week 6 or after week 5 here. So just bear with us here. But yeah, there you see the standings there, and take a look there and look at the numbers there. Alabama, of course, they have a week off, so that's going to really help out us. We can try to get a victory here, and then that'll put us up by our, of course, a win there for us. Not saying that we're going to jump leapfrogging over and get take number 1, but I mean, if that's the case, that happens, that'll be really great. And hold on, if we can hold on to number 1 all the way to the national championship game, that will even help us out even more, especially the weeks going into that. We can start gaining some ground there on some potential young men coming into this to the school for next season. So there you see the top 25 poll there, kind of scanning along those. And of course, a lot of you guys have submitted your players here this season. We're trying to go after those too. We've got some pretty good players here that we've noticed that you guys have. We got quite a few submissions, but I try to pick the best. I try to limit it to 10, to create 10 here for this season. And we're gonna show you guys some of those few here today. But there you see the top 25 poll there. Some of the guys that dropped out there in after week number 6. So just take a look there. Just finish off the rest of the poll there, and take a look there. Auburn won in overtime there against Tennessee. So Tennessee has been kind of a thorn on a lot of teams' sides here coming up. And there you see us. Of course, we did not play last week. And I talked to Coach Teddy Bunce about that. He said, I asked him if that hurt the team or anything. He says no. He's kind of glad that they got a chance for a bye week. He knows that if they were within a conference, they would only have one bye week going in. So having these two, we've got 2 more coming up in weeks 10 and in week 15. It's going to really help his team out to rest up and whatnot. Because he said, if they were in the Big 10 or Big 12 or whatever, they wouldn't be that lucky to have much time off and to be able to do that. Especially with this much time off, that kind of, in some ways, he says it kind of hurts them, because they got to be even more convincing and play even better when they do, or when they are on the field. So again, that goes to trying to get the recruiting process, trying to get those recruits to show them what they can do. Especially with being an independent school, you can kind of pick and choose who you want to play. You don't have a set schedule like you did if you were part of a conference, because of course you got conference games, and then you within your you play your conference teams, but then you got like 3 or 4 non-conference teams that you play against every you got 3 or 4 that you get to pick every year that you can play against. And with them being an independent team, they can kind of just pick and choose who they want to play and when they want to play for bye weeks and stuff like that. So that is going to be very helpful, like I say, he mentioned. And but at the same time, like I said, he says that it can hurt them, and he's just trying to make sure he gets put a good product out there for the school and for the team, and try to be as successful as they possibly can there on the field. But take a look here. You see some of the attributes there. Some guys got some boosts this week from last week going into the bye week there. And of course, Hunter Cannon, one of the guys that we really are just missing there on the field. He was taken out there in week 2 against Georgia when he got that broken tailbone, which just really hurt a lot of people. I know on campus, we talked about this already, but people on campus really just, could not believe that he got hurt, and just such a good guy getting injured like that, and especially a good guy that had so much high potential. He was being mentioned in the Heisman race for this season. So, but now let's go ahead and go to our recruits now. This is what the show is mostly about this week. It's showing you guys off the recruits here and showing you some of the positions that we're trying to move. Now the draft board here has been or the recruiting board has been trying to shift around here some. You see Jasper Reed, and he's one of the young guys that you guys recruited here. He's from Kansas City, Kansas. He is, I believe, a quarterback there, and he's a young man that he just has a great story behind him. He's just a quiet guy, get a chance here. He is the only male living in his household. His father, William Reed, died a couple years ago as he was part of the forces that went into Afghanistan there, and he lost his dad there in the service. So his dad, we salute to him to have given up his life and sacrificing his life for service and the well-being of the United States. But Jasper is a big-time football player. He loves playing football, and says that he's that Highland is a school that he would like to play for. He wants to play for a school that's the underdog, and he's looking forward to playing for them. And of course, we have him on our list there. You see a couple other guys there, and like I said, some of these guys are really going to be really tough to go after. Others are not going to be so much. We can, as you can tell there, some of them are pretty convinced there. We just got to kind of push them and try to go a little harder at them in the recruiting. And I think let's just get some wins, just get some good solid wins there and show what we can do, especially defensively. There's some, they have on here this year, on the game, they have there's certain things they want to see from the team. And so far, we've accomplished in a lot of those things. Other things we have not been doing, and we really just want to get those confident wins there to help us out. As you see, there is Zion Brown, another guy that you guys put in, had submitted here. And there you see Marcus Siegel. We are no longer be able to talk to him as he is already signed with Mississippi State, so he is set and ready to go there. Take them on here. Take a look at some of the tops, those same players here. Now look at their top schools there, and you see Highland. The first two guys are on their on top of their list there, so that's nice to see there. You see Mark Collins there. He is looks like he is almost set to sign with us. Others are not so much. They got other schools that are going after them right there. Sam Flower. This is going to be a very one that we're going to be really focusing on, because we got to play with Wisconsin here in week 7. So that is going to be very big for us. If we get a good win there against Wisconsin, then we got a good chance. Jasper Reed, there you see him. You see he's right there at that line. You got Notre Dame and USC right there, who have dropped some, and that's going to help us out there. Of course, you got Jesse Rhodes there. We're just near his cutoff point, and among some others there you see here. Now this is the part where it gets really tough, because we're getting close to them locking us out here, and if we cannot convince them to get over that threshold line there, that's pretty much it, and we'll have to start going after other players that we have a better shot at here. Now, I know some of these players, it's like, okay, why don't you just go after the guys that you can go after? Well, that's true, yeah, we want to do that, but at the same time, we want to try to get some other 3-star, maybe some 4-star guys to come in here, and just get them try to get them to come in here so we can convince others from that same state or around that same area to try to be a part of the Highland Scotties here, and that is that's something that's being tough. But that's the challenge that Coach Steady Bond said he wants. He knew going into this was going to be a challenge, and it's going to be something that it's going to be. He may not get all the recruits he wants. He may not get recruits that he necessarily needs. He may, have to take on some walk-ons there, but he's willing to do that and just, prove that, with the true players that got the heart and determination that want to play and are willing to put in the work there. He can make a team pretty much out of nothing here, and so far, he's been kind of proving that here so far with this ball club, especially just last year. No one, especially myself, was not expecting Highland to get to the top of the pinnacle like that, getting to the national championship, even though they did lose against, Alabama, and they lost pretty, it was a pretty bad loss. At the same time, I mean, they did a great job of staying in there and really going at it and just working themselves up to that point there. And now, since they know they can get there, now they have they have even more confidence now that this year could be the year they can take it. So we'll have to see how things go, but we'll go ahead, take a look here, and we'll see here Jasper, like I mentioned earlier. A great young man, great story behind him, and of course his father sacrificed his life for us and whatnot. And Jasper just says that that heart and determination you see there. He's number 6 in the nation as a QB. He's a pocket passer there. He's got this fire and determination that he's all he wants to do this, and I think he's going to be showing up here for a campus visit here probably in a couple weeks here. I'm not mistaken here. I think you should take a look at some of the other stats there for him. But just a great arm there, great kid. Coach Teddy Bonds has talked about him quite often, and Coach Teddy Bonds he feels like this kid could come in next year and take over. He could possibly be a starter for Coach Teddy Bonds next season. So we'll see if we can try to get him and convince him to come to Highland, Kansas here. We asked him about that, if he was familiar with it, and he's like, no, never heard of the little town. He looked it up. He's like, okay, he's close to home. He is a family. He's close to his family, especially his mom. So he would like to play somewhere close to home, where he can come and visit and stuff like that. So we're hoping that we're trying to, try to buy into that and get him to convince him that coming to Highland is a good thing. And so far, he has not made a visit yet, but we're at least talking to Coach Billy Bonds. He is very close to sealing the deal with him. Next one is Bart Graham from McPherson, Kansas, which is not far really from Highland. It's probably about 2 or 3 hours just southwest, wrong direction there, southwest of Highland. And there you see the young man there, defensive end. His brother's also on this list here, Ben. We'll talk about him in a bit. But, there you see Bart there. Great defensive tackle. Young man is just very, live wire. He has a twin brother, of course, Ben, his brother, his younger brother. He's older than Ben by 2 whole minutes. He reminds Ben about that all the time. And Ben and Bart played in high school. Both played the interior and exterior on the defensive line for their hometown team. And again, there's both of them want to play for, play close to home. He does have some other schools there, Oklahoma and Texas, of course, Nebraska. They also have a family farm, so he knows a lot about hard work. Him and both of his brother know a lot about hard work. And there you see they're going to be visiting week 14, and there you see some of the bonuses that we are getting from them, and convincing them to try to get here. But both are hard workers. They get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go do their chores, and then they're ready to go to get to school by 7:30. So honestly, I heard about both of these young men. I just to myself, I'm like, I I don't even get up at that early most days, so it's nice to hear about 2 young men this young doing that, and really helping it. Not working on a farm. I know it, from close friends I know who have going through college. So I was going to college, worked on the farm. It's a lot of hard work, and these young men put a lot of work into not just helping out with the family business, but also just working on themselves, becoming better athletes, becoming better students, and that's just really awesome to see that these young men have. And of course, take a look at their attributes there. Just real good powerhouse young men that could be very dominant there on the defensive line. So really nice to see that, and we'll see if that will continue on here. We can try to get them to be a part of the Highland Scotties. So you see the top schools there, and of course the younger brother kind of want to go away from home. He's got a lot more West Coast schools there, a couple East Coast schools. You got Clemson, Penn State, kind of looking at them. Florida State right there on nipping at his heels. But us, we're on top of his list there, and that's nice to see here. And we're trying to see if we can get him to sign, or at least to come and visit here very, very soon. As you see there, he's getting close to making that decision here, and we'll see how that goes here coming up here in a few more weeks. The next guy, the next young man, is Jalen Munoz. There he is from Iowa. He is the ranked number 71 in wide receiver. So he's a 3rd overall, but there you see University of Iowa. The Hawkeyes there are looking at him, and they are wanting him bad. There you see there when it comes to the lead there for us. And this is one of those tough ones we're trying to go after, and we're trying to put trying to convince this young man to come down to Highland. He's from Ames, Iowa, 6'1", 210 pounds, and he is a young man that has great speed and just has really good knowledge there on the field. He's very savvy, and like I said, he knows what he's doing, and just be able to do what he does there. He's just a great young man, and comes up from a good family who they're I believe his mother or his grandmother, his mother are from Mexico, Tijuana, if I'm not mistaken, and but he was born and raised here in the States. They recently just got their immigration status now to United States citizens. So congratulations to them. But I know, talking to Coach Teddy Bonds, they're going to be here in week 13 to visit this campus. Talking to him, he says that they want, Jalen's family really wants him to excel in school, and want him to go to that next level, and that's something that Coach Dave Blunt says he can try to help that young man do, going to the coming up now on the collegiate level. Look at Cameron. He is from Pittsburgh, Kansas, 6'2", 195 pounds. There you see from Pittsburgh, Kansas. Very, very small town. I've been there several times, and actually got to get a chance to see the Cameron Morgan play. There you see he is number 2 on our list, on his list there, and Cameron is a young man that is something special. Got great hands, and he's very knowledgeable when it comes to football. And there you see some of the other weekly bonuses that we're getting from him. But trying to look here and see here. I'm trying to find this. Bright young man. He is just a 4.0 student, and like I said, very knowledgeable. He does a lot of game film. His coaches are, say he's there before and after practice, looking at game film. They're in the high school level, so this young man is just chomping at the bit here to get better and become better. He does have a a dream of playing on the next, not just in college, but somewhere up on the next level, playing in, what do you call it, in the NFL. But yeah, he's not a prima donna wide receiver as most would think. Young man, like I said, smart young man, and he just wants to do what's best for the team. And he does have hopes to play in the NFL to help out his family and friends. And not to mention, he wants to go into pre-law or either pre-law or law enforcement there. So nice to hear that from a young man like that. So great. We wish him the best. Hopefully we can get him to come to Highland. Highland does have an excellent criminal justice program there that he can be a part of. But let's take a look at Jalen Richardson, who's from Wichita. He is number 7 in the free safeties there. He's a coverage free safety. And we'll take a look at him and his numbers there as you're seeing there on your screen. And let's see here. My notes here. Trying to find my notes. Trying to be a little more organized here. But he's from Wichita, Kansas. And not much known about him, really. Coach Teddy Bonds has looked at some game film, and one of the other assistant coaches said that he's been just playing like crazy there in Wichita at one of the high schools. I forgot which high school he plays at, but at least I was talking to one of the assistants. He has made 2 interceptions. And has taken back 2 interceptions a game, and has had a touchdown, or he's returned a touchdown on a pick 6 in every single game so far. And so far he's been in 5. They've played 5 or 6 games already here. So this young man, he knows how to read the quarterback very, very well, and that is something we would love to have here at Highland for next season and next season and the seasons beyond. Let's take a look here at Ian Johnson, another bright young man here who's getting a lot of buzz here with Coach Teddy Bonds. He's, of course, number 1 quarterback in the nation from Omaha, Nebraska. And Ian is a young man from, I believe, from Creighton Prep. He is a young man that is going places here. He's played in multiple sports for his high school there, and he's also got a chance to play Division I golf. So this young man's doing some great things for himself and for his future, and he is one of the top quarterbacks that we're going after here. Could be a replacement actually it'd be a good replacement if by chance Flanagan does leave next season. So Ian would be definitely a good person to come in there, just like Jasper. That could be a battle right there we could be seeing for a quarterback position there. But we'll see how that thing goes. But his overall numbers there, he's going to be another one of those tough recruitments there, as I think we're like 2nd or 3rd on his list. Let's see. 2nd on his list. Florida State is one of the schools that are really going after him and trying to make a case there, and why not? I mean, he's a great young man. He's going to be there in week 11. He's going to visit them and check out their school. I talked to Coach Teddy Bonds about him possibly showing up here soon, and Coach Teddy Bonds he's offered a scholarship to him. So far he hasn't heard anything back yet about it, but he's a top wide receiver. He's one of the best quarterback right now on the board right now to a lot of schools there. So a lot of schools going after him and want him to show up. So, but like I said, we're trying our best to recruit him. And then finally, we have Zion Brown from Grand Island, Nebraska, which is the same high school that Hunter Cannon went to. Yeah, Hunter Cannon, this is actually one of Hunter Cannon's, I think his best friend's younger brother, who is 6'4", 220 pounds there. He's a big boy there for a wide receiver. But he also, just take a look at his numbers there. Actually, we'll see his stats here in just a bit. But yes, he has friends. he's the younger brother of one of Hunter's closest friend, and this is Zayon. Zayon said that he heard about last year's team and what Hunter and the rest of the team was doing. He's actually been on campus before to visit Hunter, and along with Hunter's family there. There you see his speed 85, great, not so great at breaking tackles, but there you see his good catch, spectacular catch in traffic there, catching traffic and route running there. Pretty good, really decent for him for a quarterback for 75 overall. But he likes the just the hoopla and everything that was going on last season, and he says he wouldn't mind being a part of a team or a part of a building history here. But he says there is Iowa State has been talking to him quite a bit, and there you see he's going to be visiting him in week 14. Now he has been offered a scholarship from Highland and also from Iowa, the Hawkeyes there, but he's still on the fence on both of them. So he's still talking to Coach Teddy Barnes there. He said he would like to show up there and go to school. But yeah, we'll take a look here and see that AJ Watson, a kicker that we were going after, he has already made a commitment already. He is going to go to Oklahoma, so he is going to go there. He's going to be a Sooner, and so now we're going to have to even try harder now with the other two kickers that we have. AJ Watson was really a guy that Coach Teddy Barnes was really falling in love with in the kicker position there. He was really hoping they were going to be able to keep this battle going on, but Watson, for whatever reason, made a decision, and he is now committed now to Oklahoma. So we'll see how things go. There you see Terrence Long and Clinton Manning both have locked us out, so they're no longer talking to us, and we'll have to find out. From Coach Teddy Barnes why. But that is pretty much your recruiting class of right now, what it looks like on the board here. Yes, there's some areas we haven't really signed nobody just quite yet, but we still got plenty of football to go. Still enough time for these young men to sit back and watch other teams and see what these other teams are doing, and of course to see what we can do and how far we can go here. I really do think if we do a great job here against UMass, and especially against a ranked opponent like Wisconsin and then like LSU, with two schools right there that are just well known for their football programs, I really think that a lot of these kids will start going the other direction, and will sign with us or either visit us here very, very quickly. So like I said, it depends on us. It's all about us. We'll have to find out what we can do here in the next couple of weeks here when it comes to recruitment. So and that's pretty much what Coach Teddy Barnes had to say about that in the midweek press conferences about recruitment and stuff like that. So he's pushing it. He's having his coaches and his assistants go out there and look for talent and stuff like that. But it all depends on them. They know how hard this is going to be. Very, very hard for them, as they're only a 2-star school and not much known about them. There's not much history, especially on the Division I level, for them to really to go on. So it's going to be tough, and that's what it's meant to be. So we'll see how things go. But that is it for this episode of the Highland Scotties Sports Talk here. We'll be back in week 6 to take on UMass there. You see 2-3 there for UMass. And we'll see if we can get this victory and get this thing going here as we get back. We start this. We got 3 games. First 3 games coming back off this week off for us, and they're gonna be tough 3 games. So stay there with us and root us on here as we go get ready for the next 3 games here. They're gonna be really, really tough. So that's it for the Scotties Sports Talk here this week. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Highland Scotties football here on ESGNet. As always, guys, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. The links down below in the description. And that is it for this week. As always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.